Okay, so this is our dining room space, which is located on the lower level. This room is 2,163 square feet. This room has a stage at the front of the room, and the curtains just pull back by hand. As you can see on the north wall, it's lined with frosted windows, so there's a good amount of natural light. This room comes with a base layout of 9 round tables with 4 chairs at each and extra chairs lining both walls. If you fold up the tables and move them all aside, this room can accommodate a maximum of 90 people auditorium style. However, if you need table seating for your event, the occupancy is variable and will depend on how you will need to set up the space. If you put 6 chairs at each of these existing 9 tables, you can comfortably seat 54 people. If you set up 3 more round tables in the back of the room here, with 6 chairs at each, you could potentially seat 72 people in here. Please note though that by adding additional tables in the back here, it would diminish space, I should say, for things like food tables, registration tables, mingling, etc. If you need to seat more than 55 people, we would highly encourage you to add the annex room onto your reservation. So over here on the right-hand side, right there, this wall is retractable. And it can be stowed away, transforming the dining room and annex into one large space. Adding the annex room would add accommodation for an additional 60 people, bringing the total for the 2 rooms combined to between 114 to 132 people seated at tables, even more if you want to do auditorium style. One thing to consider before reserving the dining room and annex together is that some of the people seated in the annex over there would not be able to see the stage due to the angle. So that's something to consider. Okay, so if you need additional furniture for the dining room, matching chairs and round tables can be found in the annex closet. You'll also find 6 and 8 foot rectangular tables on the rolling racks outside the north and south hallways, and I'll point all of that out shortly. This room has several electrical outlets. There are 2 on the stage, 2 below the stage, and 2 on this wall, and then there's another one in the back here. And I might even be missing 1 or 2, but that's generally what I found. Oh, this room also does have air conditioning. So that's important in the summertime, although this is on the lower level and this room never really gets hot, so it's a nice temperature down here. Okay, so this room can accommodate a projector, and it has a built-in projector screen at the center of the stage. Right up there. The screen can only be lowered with the remote control, so a staff member will need to do that for you. Renters can either bring their own projector or reserve ours for an additional charge. Use of the projector screen is free. Both of our sound packages are available in this space for an additional charge. They include use of our speaker system, and then package 1 gets you 1 to 2 microphones, and package 2 gets you 3 to 6. Please note that our audio and video equipment has limited availability and must be reserved ahead of time. Okay, over here you'll see some signage. I'll get a little closer. Okay. Okay, so over here the signage says a few different things. This one I'm pointing at really talks about how these are DIY spaces. Renters are responsible for wiping down tables, sweeping or vacuuming the floor, taking out trash and recycling, resetting the spaces, which includes putting tables and chairs back where you found them and leaving nothing behind, including food. We do provide cleaning supplies in each room, including multi-purpose spray, cleaning rags, and trash bags. Our signage also posts our free Wi-Fi network, which is posted down in the bottom left-hand corner, and the passwords there too. And then up here is the building host cell phone. There's always a building host on duty to assist with questions, and you can just call or text that number for assistance. The cleaning supplies in this room are found on the counter here. Over to the right are the light switches for this room. The lights in here are zonal. The stage track lighting is that first switch, and the rest of them just control different parts of the room. So you can adjust the lights however you want them. At the moment, I have all the lights on in the space. This room is next door to our commercial kitchen, right on the other side of this wall. But the commercial kitchen may only be used if it's reserved. If you reserve the kitchen, we will leave this sliding glass door open, but if you don't rent the kitchen, we will keep it closed and locked. We do have a complimentary kitchenette available to all Tabor Space renters, and I'll point that out in just a moment. One last thing, if you rent the commercial kitchen, you are welcome to open these wooden shutters and utilize these serving windows. You can get it, sorry. These open all the way, and then these are like serving windows. So yeah, if you rent the kitchen, you can open those up. And I will just say also that if you rent the dining room, we would never rent the commercial kitchen to another party because of the noise transfer. You still can't use the commercial kitchen unless you rent it, but we wouldn't put anyone else over there if you did not rent it, okay? All right. Okay, one thing I want to point out is that the dining room and also the commercial kitchen are throughways. People can connect from the south side of the building to the north side of the building. So the north and south wings are connected by the dining room and the kitchen. It's just the way the building was built. Certainly, if you rent these spaces, we would not have the general public walking through the spaces, but the commercial kitchen is a pretty popular throughway for a lot of people coming in the 54th Avenue door. So what I'm going to point out now are what you will find out the north side and what you will find out the south side of the dining room. Okay? Okay, let's start with the north side. We do have some signage at the top of the doors here, letting people know. There's some artwork that's going to be coming soon here. But yeah, this is the north wing, and there's a couple things to point out here. The first is this door. This is the 54th Avenue entrance. It's one of our 4 public entrances, and it is one of 2 best doors. There's 2 doors that are very direct shots to the dining room. Boom. What's nice about this door and what makes it my favorite is that it has a hydraulic arm. So if you're bringing in a lot of supplies, you can hit the button and it will open the door for you. I mean, certainly you can open the door manually as well. And then also this ramp, which is not very steep, goes right down to our parking lot on the corner of 54th Avenue and Belmont. And there's the button there for opening the door when you're outside. Every single one of our public doors will have an event board posted. So there's the roster for the day. And then in this particular area of the building, we have a directional sign letting people know they do need to walk through that kitchen to get to the south wing and the rooms that are in the south wing. So again, yes, some things to consider when you're thinking about these rooms because of the throughways. Other things in this wing, we've got the water fountains. We've got a large rolling rack of very large folding tables. It looks like the majority of these tables are 8 foot long. There are some smaller tables upstairs. If you need them, you would need to be prepared to bring them down yourself and put them back. These are the largest restrooms we have downstairs. This is the ladies' room. And it's got several stalls. So it's really nice for big groups to have these large restrooms right next door. And then that's the men's room. We have a couple businesses operating full-time out of our building, and that's one of them right there. That's the Peapod Play School. That's a preschool. We have an elevator right here that is very basic. It just goes between this lower level and the main floor upstairs. I would say you might want to use this if you have to bring really heavy trash outside, because you do have to go upstairs and out the 55th Avenue door, and this elevator lets you out almost right at that door. So, and also obviously for anyone who needs help getting up and down between the levels in wheelchairs, or people that have difficulty with steps. I'll show you a little later, but that is the staircase you would take to get to the main level. You can also take your trash and recycling out that way as well. Yes, so that's the north side. And when we have an event in the dining room, we have a whiteboard here that we can put the name of your event on with an arrow pointing in to sort of catch people's eye. And again, we have some art gallery artwork coming soon. So this space will look a lot fancier in the coming weeks and the coming months. Okay, so now we're going out the south side. And I'll just give you a quick peek over here at the annex, because some people rent this with the dining room. This room has its own tour video, so you can watch that separately. But yeah, and there's the retractable wall right here on the left. One thing I do want to point out in here is that if you rent the dining room or the annex and you need furniture, this is the closet that you'll use, and you'll find matching chairs and tables in here. Lots and lots of chairs, a chair caddy to help move stacks of chairs easily, and there's 17 more round tables in here. Okay. If you were to just rent the dining room and not the annex, you will still have access to the annex closet. We just ask that you don't use this space, that you just use it to access the closet strictly. Okay. Other things out here, one of the main things is the lower Belmont door. This is the second public entrance that I would consider to be a very good one to access the dining room. We have an entrances video that you can watch, and it goes into more detail on the outside of the building. But here's where it enters. And as you can see, it's a very direct shot to the dining room. Okay? And again, at all the public entrances, we have event boards. And it will have a printout of the roster of what's on the schedule, with some directional arrows, letting people know where they can go. There is another rolling rack of tables here. And then right up here, there's some more restrooms. They're tinier, but there's a ladies' room right here, and there's a men's room right around the corner there. Okay. There is a coffee shop here that's run by an outside company called Crema, and if you wanted to get coffee, to get to that, you would go upstairs here and make a right-hand turn into the Copeland Commons, and you'll see the coffee shop there. They are open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. Okay, so let's say you rent the dining room and you don't rent the commercial kitchen. I wanted to point out the kitchenette for all Tabor Space renters. It's a complimentary space. It's right around the corner. As you can see, we have a sign here letting people know they can walk through the commercial kitchen to get to those larger restrooms. But if you walk through this door here, the kitchenette is right here on the right-hand side. Okay? And this space is, like I said, available to all of our renters at no additional charge. It is first come, first serve, so please do be respectful of other people. And you don't want to leave food in our fridge, but you can certainly keep it cold while you're renting space with us. Just also be aware that this large freezer is not plugged in. But yes, help yourself to this area. This area over here is really for church business. So yeah, don't use that area. And we'll just walk through here so you can see what I'm saying. This is a throughway, and people walk through here all the time to connect between the north and south wings on the lower level. And there you can see the dining room through those windows. And yeah, it's like a big circle. If you can remember these throughways, you'll be a pro at finding your way around the building. Okay? All right, so I think that about covers it. The last thing I'll film will be about the dumpster area. Okay. So, as you're probably aware at this point, we do require renters to take their trash and recycling outside to our dumpster area. So here's the receptacles in this space. I was saying that you could use the elevator. This trash can is on wheels, so if you have a really heavy load, feel free to just wheel it into the elevator and take that upstairs. But basically, we have to go upstairs and out the 55th Avenue, so...
To go to work?
So right around the corner here is the elevator, and I pointed that out earlier. But you're welcome to use this to take the trash upstairs, or you can walk upstairs. We do try to help people with signage, so be looking for that. But yeah, dumpsters to the left. Right around this corner, that's the church office. This is the 55th Avenue door, and it has a hydraulic arm if you need it, especially if you have your hands full with trash. And you'll go down the ramp and you'll go left, and that is our dumpster and recycling station right there. Okay. Okay, so to wrap this up, I'll just say, please visit our website, taborspace.org, for our rental rates and additional information about our rental program and spaces. Please note that all the scheduling is handled in writing via our online rental inquiry form, which can be found on our website, taborspace.org. Completing the rental inquiry form is the first step in making a reservation, and once it's submitted, it will put you into contact with our scheduler. You will receive an email back letting you know if what you are requesting is available, and from that point on, the process is all done via email. This ensures we have a written record of all correspondence. When setting up a reservation, please include extra time for setup and cleanup in your reservation times, as there is no grace period before or after reservations. We respectfully ask that attendees don't arrive earlier than the reservation start time. If you are an organizer of your group, please kindly communicate this policy to everyone in your party. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please call our office at 503-954-2610.